Hey yo, how you doing, guys? It's me, the one AJ, representing 1/5 of them boys, the Ministry of Wrestling. So you know what that means. We're here, and why are we here? For well, I say it's a discussion. It's a one-man analysis. It's not a rant. It's just something. Hey, the world's hot on it, so let's jump on the bandwagon. Essentially, you like wrestling, we like wrestling. Let's talk wrestling. This one is the mysterious hidden hooded attacker, the mask attacker, the hooded attacker, whatever you want to call him. This person who is currently attacking the Vision. Now, I've made a joke of it. I think after I saw Solo reveal himself under the hood, we have seen so many people under the hood. We've had R-Truth. We've had double hooded attackers in the form of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We've had Drew McIntyre. I believe we probably had Cody Rhodes. We've had Seth Rollins. We've had Austin Theory. We've had, I said Solo already. I think I said R-Truth. Probably half of the MFTs have all made their appearance under a hood at one point. I'm pretty sure Tama Tonga did. So I remember making this joke a while ago, and now the world, I'm not saying I'm broken news, it's an easy visual. But yes, the world is now also on good old Triple H's case over his love of a black hoodie. He must have shares in a black hoodie somewhere. It's just a plain black hoodie. It works, but you know, I look. Here's the thing about a masked assailant is you have Jimmy Uso attacking Jay, and it was like, oh my god, it was Jimmy. Why? Solo's joined the bloodline. Yeah, there are times when R-Truth, because I suppose R-Truth was a good one because everyone thought he was gone from the company. There are others when you don't need the hood. You know, Sammy and KO after the Usos. Yeah, we know it's you guys, you know, just little bits like that. So sometimes the hood has worked, sometimes it hasn't. In a span of 3 to 4 years, there's been a lot of reveals, and this is the problem. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But this time it's actually been an instrumental part of the story. It's a two-pronged attack because we've had Austin Theory become the one of the Vision. He wanted to help the Vision, but he was using Seth's moves. Seth had just been kicked out of the Vision. So with this, I'm going to just assess who are some potential names that are out there. Some I've just done for shiggles, and others are names that are out there. And what I'm going to do along with this, guys, is just rank it. If you agree with me, you disagree with me, let it be. Now, the one that really, I've preset this, so there's one name that was very obvious and is going to come back. But here we go. We've got someone who's attacking the Vision, uses the stomp, so they are familiar with Seth. They're on Seth's side by the looks of it. Do you know what? I should have put Becky. Becky's not in there, but Becky's got her own stuff, and I don't think she's out to... Look, I'm not a fan of intergender matches. I'm going to put it that way. I don't mind mixed tag. Mixed tag is very different from intergender, okay? Mixed tag, men take on the men, women take on the women. I just let it be. You know, yeah, the odd spot. Nia takes an RKO. What have you? She entered the Rumble. She asked for it. China's beat men. She was an IC champ. I'm not opposed to that, but we have a women's division that needs to be worked on, and she's holding the title. Keep defending your title in the women's division. Let the men do the men, and the women do the women. I'm not saying let the men, like the men's on top. I actually believe the women are doing better. Just last night, I saw the SmackDown tag team title match between Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and Rio and Rhea. Rio, yeah, that's the name. Yeah, Io and Rio. And I thought that was absolutely amazing. Should have just had a winner. Sadly, Rhea's in the chamber. Otherwise, that would have been an awesome tag match to see run back. But anyway, let's not digress. I think you got the idea. So we're going to go for it. Now, one of the people that I've thought of is someone who is an ally to Seth, is no stranger to using the stomp, and could be out for a bit of revenge while Seth is out. This one would be ultra cool, and it would be none other than Jon Moxley. Now, Jon Moxley, as we all know, is currently in AEW. He's holding the AEW Continental title or international. I think it's the Continental title. So with that, it's very unlikely unless the Forbidden Door has gone that bit further. So with this one, I'm going to casually rank it as very cool, but no chance. Let's just be real. There is the way things are between WWE and AEW right now. Look, long form storytelling be a thing. I would love to see it, but it's not likely. But think of the impact that would have. Look, you would have to have a stadium without a roof. If at the point of reveal, and look, the guy's got a pretty big beard and all of that, like it would probably work. You know, that would be a really good moment to just see like a bit of a beard, completely pull back. It's John Moxley. Yeah, yeah. 2/3 of them boys. You know you're on it. You know you're on it because I sure as hell am. That would be awesome. One Forbidden Door tournament. The Shield the back, baby. Like let it be. That would be absolutely amazing. But again, as I said, let's watch it one more time. Very cool, but no chance. I just don't see that Forbidden Door being open just yet. So let's come right back down to reality. One of the names that has very much come to my mind was one of the few episodes of Raw I watched was pre-Royal Rumble, and we've got the whole Vision in the background, and they said, right, let's all go in there. Let's be a force to be reckoned with, and I believe the champion should be Bron Breakker. He should be the champion, the winner of the Rumble should be Bron Breakker. And everyone's like, I agree. That was Logan Paul. Logan Paul could be the assailant. I believe this man right here, Logan Paul, let's get the image up, could be the guy. He plays like he's on side. He's devious enough. He's always been that heel. And let's be honest, the Vision have kind of got into like cool territory. People were following the Vision. I know Bron's currently out on Bron Breakker, and before you think I'm talking Bronson Reed, is currently on the shelf. So that's 2 leaders of the Vision that's currently on the shelf at the moment. They're pretty much, well, they're a trio right now. But that would be the perfect way to sway it. You look like you're the biggest ally. We know Austin Theory's been under the hood, so you deviate it. But I hear you say he chased the hooded figure. So let's put him down as an obvious. I would say makes sense and likely, but also unlikely because the storyline would be that. Now, you could also get somebody else to do it. At one point, we had multiple Americanos. Now they all have their own names. I get that. But I think we can't discount the idea that Logan Paul is sneaky enough to have had somebody else be on his side to pretend to be it while he was the assailant and is destroying the Vision while getting built up. Look, and right now with Bron being injured, it tells for a perfect story to intertwine of he's eliminating people bit by bit, but he has the wise man on his corner, the visionary, whatever Paul Heyman calls himself at the moment, I can't remember. But you know, that would be the way of it. You've got the prophet Paul Heyman, if you would, and he's just slowly building and he's getting it, and the Vision are entitled to a title shot. But with everybody out, Logan Paul deserves to be the one. Let's see who Logan Paul goes for. So I go for it. I think it's one of the usual suspects. Now, who could have been the other hooded man that Logan chased if it wasn't him, but he's still there as part of the person to intertwine it? I hate to say this, people. His brother, Jake Paul. Now, I totally despise the idea. But if you're playing the game and you want to do it, that you are weaving your way through, that would be the perfect one. Blood is thicker than water, right? That would be perfect Vision. That would be the way to do it. He's got Jake. It doesn't mean Jake has to wrestle. He was just a hooded man for the story to allow Logan to elevate. However, I was very happy at I shouldn't say this. It sounds really bad to say I was really happy at the broken jaw, but I believe boxers are boxers, YouTubers are YouTubers. I respect what Logan's done. I call Logan a wrestler now. I don't think these amateur boxers, with respect, should be taking on world-renowned champions. So when Anthony Joshua rocked his jaw from one AJ to another, I said, hey, cool. AJ, well, I bring up your name. Condolences to what happened post-match. I know you lost some friends out there. That's a real sad one, so condolences on that way. But yes, Logan Paul calling his brother Jake Paul in to be the hooded assailant and possibly now enter the world of wrestling. It could be fun. You know, the Paul brothers have always been around each other and get there. And if Jake manages to sway me, he manages to sway me. But as it currently stands, my vote for this is please don't be. I really do not want to see Jake Paul in there. Look, I found Logan extremely annoying. I'm now a Logan fan. I appreciate what Logan's done. I also appreciate that Logan stood up and said something against his brother when we were talking halftime. So even if it was meant to be Jake, I don't think now would be the time for a reveal. I don't know if the reveal's coming soon. There might be enough time to allow Jake to get some favor back with the crowd, because right now he looks like a stark raving racist, but you know, that is where it goes. So as much as it could be and as much as it may sway my mind, Jake Paul's not my guy. So please don't be. Another name that has been very popular amongst the internet, and one that would make sense because they saw him under the hood before. When Seth had another faction, he was Seth's disciple. We are talking about none other than Austin Theory. Now, Austin Theory was on the receiving end of the stomp. So everyone will be like, why would he be the masked man but take the stomp? Let's be honest, Bronson Reed delivered a tsunami to Seth and then joined the Vision, right? Nothing is out of the question if you've got a plan to worm your way in and break the Vision down. So Austin Theory could still be the guy who took a stomp for the reason behind it. Now, who was that guy? Could it be Seth? Maybe it was Seth, maybe it wasn't. We'll look at that. Maybe he has an ally of his own. But I'm going to put Austin in the same category as Logan, and he is a make sense and likely, because he could be the one who is doing a favor for his previous mentor and destroying the Vision from within. He is destroying what the architect built, and he's destroying it for the architect. That makes perfect sense. Now, while we're talking Austin Theory, there's another one who's been quite a buzz. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. Do you guys remember A-Town Down Under? Yes, guys, we are talking about none other than the other half of A-Town Down Under, part of the New Day right now, Grayson Waller. Now, if you wanted to run it back, you could. I personally don't think the A-Town Down Under feud went the way it should have been. I think the new serious edge on Grayson would be something, on Austin is something to be played with, and I don't think bringing back the A-Town Down Under side of it would work. It would probably put the New Day in a feud with the Vision. If you were looking to turn the New Day and Grayson face, possibly. I don't think that's the way they're looking at it. So, I mean, the possibility is there. I just don't think it would be the best decision. So personally, I would go for could be, but no real motive, because A-Town Down Under's done. Both sides are heel. It doesn't really work in anyone's favor to have that, you know? If they do it, they do it. If it's a way of trying to put Grayson Waller into the main event picture and have him feud with someone that we know he's feuded with already, even though it wasn't the world's greatest feud and the greatest implosion, let it be. So that could be the angle in which WWE are going for. I don't see it, so it's a possibility, but no real motive. Now, guys, let's look at some other options. When did this person attack? They attacked during the Royal Rumble. There was one person we thought we'd never see again in the Royal Rumble, and that after the Royal Rumble, and that was the man who lost a match just prior, AJ Styles. Now, I'm going to call it off the bat. I don't believe there's much sense in that, because if he was to come back, he would have attacked Gunter out of all people, but you throw the scent off and you're like, you know what? You're standing up for all things right, and you've never been a fan of what the Vision done, and you probably have a feud with Heyman because of the way he treated the club back in the day. Like, it doesn't spell for much reasons, but hey, if AJ has now reached a deal to go back to the WWE, because apparently rumor has it is that he's seeing out his contract while he's negotiating, and that's why the gloves haven't gone down. So if it is bye-bye AJ, it's bye-bye AJ. If AJ goes elsewhere, he goes elsewhere. So for that, I'm going to put it down as please don't be. Not because I don't want AJ to come back. I would love to see it. Look at that. I've talked Anthony Joshua. I'm talking Alan Jones, and it's AJ presenting. 3 AJs, one show. What do you know? Hey, AJ Lee, you're welcome too. Hey, 4 for 4. Now, it's a please don't be, because I wouldn't want to see AJ in AEW. If you say you're retiring, if you say you quit, you quit. If you say you're retiring, you're retiring. But if AJ is in his final stages, look, take 6 months in AEW if you have to, but retire in TNA. And that's what I'd like to see. Now, while talking TNA, this is another option I'd like to bring up. Let's talk the WWE and TNA partnership. Could it be that WWE have, we've seen TNA go through all of these elements of invasions, as it were, by the NXT roster, and they said they're not going to take it. Maybe they've jumped the queue a bit. Maybe they've gone past developmental and they're going to the flagship show. So could it be that someone within the TNA ranks has possibly just left? I'm not saying Joe Hendry because he's currently NXT, but let's say there was someone else on the brink of, or they're taking it to a higher feud. Let's take someone like a Nick Nemeth, for instance. He's here to show the world, right? He could be a possible candidate. So in that elevation, you could have it. Let's take a TNA star to bring the war to WWE. And with that, I'm going to rank that as a could be, but no real motive. Like, in the whole angst of the Vision, unless you're going to do this huge angle, which I don't think they're ready for because the partnership is very much working with NXT, and NXT have just won the TNA Women's title. To go that far of a jump, and I'm not knocking NXT when I say that, seems unlikely, but it would do huge numbers for the former Impact. I'm putting to my poster back there, and current TNA. It would be a very, very big move. So, hey, if it is, it is. But there's no real motive short of what could lead to a huge expansion war. I just don't see WWE and TNA being there yet in terms of having that full-on feud and having to build that, especially so close to Mania. I don't think that would be the way to cross-pollinate, as it were. However, while saying that and while talking NXT, it could be an NXT call-up. It really could be an NXT call-up. And that could be at any given time. You could always throw an NXT call-up and throw them right into the main event roster. Look at the way Trick Williams is doing amazing, amazing things on SmackDown right now. Carmelo Hayes on a pretty good push. Obafemi, he's not assigned to a show just yet, but he's doing good things. So I'm going to go for, just like the TNA expansion, could be, but no real motive. I don't think the Vision have attacked anyone personally on that side for this person to be attacking just the Vision. If you told me they were attacking all of Raw, this person's making a name for themselves. You could do that. It could be a huge face pull for this person, but it's not there just yet. So I don't know. Possible. Let it happen. Let it happen. Now, there is one person who would love to get some revenge on the Vision. I'm sure you can guess it, and I've pointed enough times because when I say it, I want everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah, that's the one. L.A. Knight. Now, we know that L.A. Knight has been in a huge feud with the Vision from the time Seth was there. It's not that Seth's gone. He's forgotten what these guys have done to him. So the opportunity for L.A. Knight to be there is astronomical. Move over from SmackDown. Get yourself in there. Eliminate the Vision. Look, 2 of them are down already. This would be the perfect time for LA Knight to come in there, swoop in. You're taking out, which looks like a main event, deadly faction on Raw. You're in the title picture, irrelevant of who wins at Mania. You sealed yourself in there because you are the Vision Slayer. You are Goliath. You are taking out the Vision. Terrible pun, but I'm sure you guess what I'm going with. So with that one, I'm going to say makes sense and likely. Now, I mentioned someone earlier when I talked about Austin Theory. I mentioned it at the top when I mentioned Jon Moxley. It's the obvious candidate. It's the man who has every angle and reason to be upset with the Vision. It's the man who mastered the stomp. It's the reason behind Austin Theory joining the Vision and people thinking he's not there. It's the reason I went for Jon Moxley. We're talking about none other than the man himself, the founder of the Vision, Seth freaking Rollins. It makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't it make sense? Seth's been out. It's sooner than we expected, but hey, Seth's already given us one swerve and won a title. Maybe he's on another swerve. It wouldn't be the greatest idea to have Seth be the injury faker for the rest of his career. It's not the lie, cheat, and still we're after. Plus, Dom's doing it a lot better, but it's there. And for that reason, I am going to put Seth in a please don't be. Do I want to see Seth back? Yes. Do I want to see Seth take out the Vision? Yes. But I want this person to be an assailant to Seth, not Seth. It just wouldn't do it. I feel like it doesn't lead to the right situation if Seth is the hooded attacker. It makes all the sense in the world. So he could fall under likely, but I'm going to put him down as a please don't be because it works, but it's like, grand reveal. He's been there. He's been ready. Take him out, Seth. You could take him out one by one. Each time they could chase you, but we know who you are. You could actually reveal yourself each week like, hey, doing it alone. This wouldn't work for me. So that's why I'm going to put Seth down as please don't be. Who else has a feud and a beef with the Vision? Who else has been attacked by Bron Breakker and has every reason to be it? All right? I'm going to say this. In at number 11, people, it's official. The Raw GM himself, Mr. Adam Pearce. Now, this would be a good one for Adam if Adam is coming back to the ring, if Adam decides to step out of a capacity. I'm going to tell you what my vote for this one is straight away, and it's please don't be. Now, I'm going to tell you why I don't want it to be please don't be, because it can't be cool but no motive. He has all the sense for it to be that. Makes sense and likely, not so much. Outside of the box, but could be, possibly. Adam Pearce, about 4 years ago, was meant to take on Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. could be 5 years ago. They changed the match because Pierce wasn't match ready. 5 years later, a man who could be retired, I'm not saying he's officially hung up his boots, I'm not saying Aldous has hung up his boots, but hasn't shown any level of ring awareness, now revealing himself as the attacker, is all good, but how do you exact revenge? Adam Pearce will now need to build his own army of people to take out the Vision. And that's where I lose it. If Adam's willing to go in the ring and take the Tsunami, but take out Bronson Reed, take out Logan Paul, take out Austin Theory, because it's about him and he's in the power, he's going to do it, it's there. But then he might have to step down as Raw GM and we need to find a new GM. And it kind of spirals into a way. If I knew Adam Pearce was match ready, I'd say possibly, and let's see where it goes. Out of the box, but could be. I don't think he's ready to step back in the ring. I don't think he's ready to take out 3 guys if it is. If it was Seth was still around, possibly. If it was Breakker was still around, possibly. We're talking a one-off match. With those 2 guys out, it needs to be exact revenge along the rest. I don't see it. It may have been the original plan. It may have been official, but right now I think it's unofficial. So I'm putting it as please don't be. Not to say I'll be disappointed if it were. Now, guys, while talking the Rumble, there's another name that crossed my mind. There's a name who should really be in Cool But Not Likely. If you listen to the last discussion show that came out, it was Nico and myself, and we were talking about a man who's still on the AEW roster page, a man who's touring, and a man who was advertised, well, not advertised, but theorized to be at the Rumble. A man who is no stranger to WWE. Some say he should retire in WWE, and this would be the right start to it. Does he have the athletic ability to hit the stomp, run up cages, run down, run through the crowd? I believe he does. Some people think he's over the hill. I think he could still be a learning tree to some people. I believe if you're in the inner circle, you know who I'm talking about. Yes, guys, I am talking about Le Champion, Chris Jericho. Now, that could be a reason, right? Chris Jericho coming back, taking out the Vision just because Chris can. Chris doesn't need reason. Chris just does what he does, and Chris gets the crowd going. You can either love Chris, you can hate Chris. I believe in his latter part of his AEW run, I'm going to say run, I'm not going to say career because he might not have finished there. He wasn't exactly favorable and someone to see the end. I think this would be the pop that would get people going. And for that, I'm going to then put Chris down as outside the box, but could be. It's crazy. He has no motive, but it could work. I was going to end it there until the last minute someone else hit my mind. Now, some would say yes, some would say no. I mentioned Seth Rollins having a friend who would be able to help him out. This person was Jon Moxley. There was someone else who has had beef with the Vision, and if he had to side with Seth, they're no strangers to tagging up. In fact, I would say they were tag team champs. Believe that. OTC, baby. Yes, none other than the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. Now, yes, he's in that feud with CM Punk and he's after a gold, but it doesn't mean it's over. I could take gold, I could lose gold, but either way, I'm not finished with you guys yet. And you know, Roman doesn't, he don't forgive easy. You don't want to have, could you imagine those two, the chief and the visionary back together out to take out business? Hey, if we're really lucky, that forbidden door's really open and you got all 3 of them taking out the Vision. Now, with that, believe it or not, some people wouldn't want it to be, and there's a part of me who wouldn't want it. But the idea and the prospect of Seth and Roman tagging back up has me down as outside of the box, but could be. And again, as I said this, there was a name that also came to my mind, and I haven't listed him individually, and that was Endertech and Nico's favorite person. And I think a lot of people would say, please don't be. If there's anyone who's after both the Vision and Paul Heyman, it would be CM Punk. Now that's that. What I have done for my final one, guys, is what if this feud of the title is a major ruse, but the both of them are actually out for revenge? And I'm talking about, yes, none other than the Zebros, Roman and Punk, both of them under the hood and doing it. And obviously they are there. Punk created the Shield. This is part of the story that they've shown us. And then along the way, it's now a case of they've worked together. They threw the scent off that they were busy doing their own thing, but they're out to destroy the Vision. They're out to destroy Paul Heyman. Honestly, on my end, please don't be. I've had to squeeze it in there because it was a last-minute decision. Look, it would be cool to see Seth and Roman back together. Punk in the lead. It just doesn't fit the way it should be. I don't think it should be that. I think it would get too convoluted. It would be a bit of a weird story of, oh, we got you, wise man. Like, it wouldn't work. Shield reunion, I'm down for. This one would be a bit out there. Again, you guys might love it. You might love the prospect. So is it a bit misleading for me to say that the person is revealed? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not misleading because I've listed 13 potential candidates out there, which means quite possibly one of them is there. If there's another one, then I'm wrong. But hey, there's a possibility. The fact that I said call up in TNA is a wide scope. But here we go, guys. I've ranked them in orders that I think could possibly work. What I'd like to hear right now from you is your thoughts on these people. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please comment below either which way. Do be sure to give a thumbs up. I don't encourage it, but if you really need to give it a thumbs down, do give it a thumbs down. But either way, subscribe, comment, ring the notification bell so you know the next time the ministry have posted. Tell us more of what you want. Do you like this concept of analyzing, breaking it down, and then ranking the opportunities? I'd love to hear more from you guys. But until the next time, I am the one AJ. I thank you for your time, and I am out.